What's up everybody, it's Claire and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a video which was inspired by some random beauty guru that I saw on the YouTube homepage, and the video was titled Assumptions Tag. Immediately I was intrigued by this and I discovered that the assumptions tag was when YouTubers had people on their Instagram send in assumptions they had about said YouTuber, and then the YouTuber would then make a video reading the assumptions and responding to them. So I ended up making this story on my Instagram saying that I would love to do this video because I think it could be funny and interesting, and I'm not really looking to stir up any drama, you know, so I wasn't really like being super serious about it. Just let's have fun with it all and let's see what you got. So you all sent in many assumptions, and today I'm going to be responding to a variety of them. Some silly, some serious. Anyways, here we go. Percy is the cutest. Yes, I agree with that assumption. She is laying right next to me, sleeping with her paws like this on either side of her chin, and if that's not the most adorable thing you've ever seen, then you are an incredibly amazing, kind person who deserves happiness. This is so sweet. Thank you to whoever said that, because that is very kind. Percy loves to work. Yes, I agree with this assumption. She loves to work. She also loves to play. You love the color pink. Yes, I do. I love the color pink, and I love the color blue, but like a robin's blue and light blue. Specifically. You're an incredibly kind person who's been hurt but still gives kindness to everyone. Thank you. I appreciate that. I would say that yes, I have been hurt a lot in the past, but I try to live by a code of kindness, and I know that might sound a little ridiculous or too naive, but I do believe in extending kindness and respect to everybody as much as possible. I got like 10 of these. You spoil Percy too much. I do. What can you say? I mean, she's still got her boundaries and rules and structure, but she is spoiled. Oh, here's an interesting one. You like showline Goldens over field line. This is true. I do prefer showline, but I also like field line. Field line Goldens have their purposes. Showline Goldens are just what I prefer, but it's up to every individual. You're a perfectionist and it sometimes leads to downfalls. So I'm not quite sure, Percy's dreaming, I'm not quite sure I would call myself a perfectionist. But I would say my desire to be a perfectionist in certain areas, not in all areas, can lead to downfalls. Oh, this one. I assume that you care about your fans but don't answer your DMs, which is rude. Okay, so first of all, I want to say to the person who sent this in, I'm sorry that you feel it's rude that I didn't answer your DM, assuming that you sent me one, and that I do absolutely care about my fans, and I wouldn't call them fans because it feels more like friends. Fans just seems too like separated. But I want to make something very clear to everyone, and I've made this pretty clear on my Instagram before, but I guess I should say it here on YouTube as well. I have, let's see, I have currently 36,300 and some followers on Instagram, which means I get DMs, multiple DMs, like every hour of every day. So I have thousands of DMs, and realistically I can't answer every single one as much as I would love to. I think it's really important here for me to state that I have my DMs open so I can help people, so I can respond to people, so I can thank people for their support, but it's not so that I answer every single one, because realistically, like I said, that's just not possible, and it puts a lot of stress on me that I have so many DMs because I feel obligated to respond to everyone. But eventually I realized that actually, you know, I had to put myself first, and it was almost like a form of self-care for me to realize that I would not be able to read and answer every single DM I receive. And once I realized that, I kind of felt more at peace. And you know, hopefully if someone is asking a question that you know, I have already made a YouTube video about, or I have a highlight about, I'll just respond, hey, like, sorry, I don't have time to type a really long response, but you can find out the info here or here, etc. Or, you know, I try to respond to as many questions as I can, but it's just not feasible. And I'm not sorry for that, because it's not my fault and I shouldn't be apologizing, but I am sorry that I was unable to answer your message. And that is that. You are very smart. I appreciate this one because I'd like to think of myself as smart, but I think in the grand scheme of things, like, I wish I was a lot more intelligent than I am. Percy is sillier than you make her out to be. This is funny because I try to be really transparent about how goofy Percy is, but maybe just not enough. She's a very silly dog. She has a great personality. You get annoyed when people ask you questions about service dogs, etc. So I don't get annoyed, but I don't have the time to type out the same long, detailed response that I would like to send to everybody. So instead, part of it is that I make these videos, not this kind of video in particular, but I make educational videos so that people can be directed to the videos and watch what I simply don't have the time to type out and send like hundreds of times to hundreds of different people. And hopefully, you know, that's a little bit more accessible for other people out there. You are pretty liberal. I guess. Yeah, I guess you could call me liberal. Oh, this one's an interesting one. You don't take people's crap ever. So this is very true, and I do want to say something about this because I have not always been the confident person who stands up for what they believe in. I grew up and I was the shy, nice girl, and quiet and reserved and all of that kind of stuff. And I think being so shy led me to be walked on, and I was so nice that I never said anything, and so that caused, you know, a lot of people to just use me per se, which happens to a lot of people when they're children. It's such is life, but you know, it is something that when I got older I realized, wow, you know, I can still be a nice person and not let people walk over me. You know, I can still be a nice person and stand up for what I believe in. This one is funny. You like the color purple but don't love bananas. Okay, this is what is kind of creative and funny to me because it's just so random. I like the color purple and I actually love bananas, so this assumption was only half true. You are very neat and organized. This is false. I cleared away the section of the floor behind me, but you should see my room right now. It is disgusting. You're not together with your boyfriend anymore. False. Fun fact, I just don't really display my romantic relationship that much on social media. That's how the both of us prefer it to be, and yeah, just because you don't see us doesn't mean that we're not still together. You get a lot of hate, which is why you don't answer any DMs. So to go back to an earlier assumption, okay, I hear you, P. To go back to an earlier assumption, I answer as many DMs as I can, but I also don't try and answer every single one because it's not feasible, A, and B, it's just, I don't have time for it. It's really something I don't have time for. Now in terms of hate, watch me get a ton of hate after I say this, but I never get hate on my Instagram, ever. I can think of literally 2 times when people have hated on me via Instagram. YouTube, on the other hand, people love to say really rude and cruel things on my YouTube channel because I think they feel like oh, like, it doesn't really matter, you know, like, it's, oh well, and I usually just block and flag them, but that's really all there is to it. Percy always listens to you and never acts out. She's a true angel. This is funny to me because Percy can be such a bad girl, but she's still an angel. So, you know, this assumption is like half and half, true and false. You're type A. So I actually had to look up what type A is, and I'm gonna read it to you guys just from like some psychology website. I'm not saying that this is scientifically correct, but type A has competitiveness. I am really not a competitive person. Sometimes I like get into it, you know, and that's when I might be competitive, but in general, I've always hated competitions. They stress me out. Time urgency. Okay, so yes, I do have time urgency. Hostility. Oh my gosh, no. I don't think I have that much hostility in me. I just don't think that it's really something I possess. Type B tends to be more tolerant of others, more reflective, experience lower levels of anxiety, and display a higher level of imagination and creativity. Okay, so maybe I'm just a mix of both, and maybe also type A and type B is bogus. But that was an interesting assumption. You like tea better than coffee. Okay, I like tea, but coffee is my first love. You're a really popular service dog handler. Okay, so that's interesting to me because I understand I have a pretty big following on YouTube and Instagram, but I wouldn't necessarily say that makes me a popular service dog handler, because there are definitely popular service dog handlers, and I probably would not be counted in that, which I'm okay with. Percy gives great snuggles. She does, but she gets hot very easily, and so she will move away from you so that you're not like snuggled together, because she wants to spread out and get more airflow through her feathers. You seem like somebody who is a fighter. If a person says something that's not right, you will fight back. Like I said, I'm very passionate about what I believe in. I'm definitely somebody who will stand up, even if it gives me a panic attack, honestly, for what I believe is right. And I think that's just the way it is. Percy looks like the kind of dog who would steal a whole block of cheese. Okay, what's funny is if you replace the word cheese with butter, that is absolutely correct. She will not counter surf ever. But if you put butter on the counter, you better be watching it. I would never consider vegetarianism. Interestingly enough, I am a pescatarian, which means I eat fish, but no other kind of meat or bird, you know, like chicken. I tried going full vegetarian when I was in high school, and I realized that because culturally I'm half Japanese and sushi is a large part of our diet, it just wouldn't be feasible for me because I also love sushi too much. So I became pescatarian, and I also had a little like less than a month phase when I tried to be vegan, and that went horribly wrong. Shout out to all the vegans out there, because I don't know how you guys spend that much time doing food related things. Percy is the perfect service dog because you're a knowledgeable dog trainer. Okay, so Percy is not a perfect service dog. She has her flaws, like every dog and like every service dog. And I think it's not even that she is such a good service dog because I'm a knowledgeable dog trainer. I am a knowledgeable dog trainer. I you know, do believe that. I successfully train many dogs. But when I got Percy and first started training her, I was nowhere near the kind of trainer that I am now. So I think part of it was also luck, and very careful planning, being very strategic in where I got my puppy from, who I worked with to, you know, help with her training. I was just very meticulous, and I think that was also a big part of why she turned out to be such a good dog and service dog in general. But luck was definitely a component there. You read at least one book a week. this is sad because I used to read at least one book a week, and definitely, you know, reading is a huge passion of mine, but unfortunately with pretty major relapse in one of my major illnesses, I had a big cognitive decrease, and reading, especially the kind of like academic material that I was reading in college, just became impossible. So I'm slowly working my way up to the, you know, level of comprehension that where I was before. But for now, I'm doing like Harry Potter, so you know, I love Harry Potter. That's good enough for me. You get annoyed when people constantly ask you what your illnesses are. I don't think I get annoyed because I understand people are naturally curious. It's human nature, and I respect that. And I think I'm very well grounded in my choice not to talk about one of my most debilitating illnesses until I'm completely ready, and I'm not ready, and so I'm very confident and secure in that choice. You're a hip YouTuber that stays up to date on trends. This is funny because if you saw earlier in my original story post on Instagram talking about this video, I said, oh, I'm just trying to be a hip YouTuber that stays up to date on trends. So thank you for that assumption. Percy has never met a person she didn't like. This assumption is true. She's never met a person she doesn't like. You're very protective of the people you love, but not passive aggressive like a lot of handlers. Yeah, you know, I can definitely be like passive aggressive, but more like in person if I'm, you know, trying to make a joke with like my friends or something, or when I was younger I might be passive aggressive with my parents. But I don't think passive aggressiveness online really gets people anywhere, and I am very, you know, protective and fiercely loyal to my friends. And okay, this is gonna be the last one. This one is really funny because it's so random. You have a collection of storage boxes you don't use, just waiting for when you need to organize. Oh my gosh. Why? What makes it seem to everyone that I'm a very highly organized person? I'm not. And you know what? I try to be. I really try. But at the end of the day, I'm not. Oh well. Anyways, this was my assumptions video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that it was fun for you to watch, because it was definitely fun for me to make it. So anyways, I will see you guys in my next video, and thank you so much for watching. All right, bye now.